Hey everybody, I'm going to show you a really simple recipe. This is an idea I just had a few minutes ago, but I'm going to do an acorn squash and we're going to roast it and we're going to glaze it with a miso maple glaze. It's going to be delicious. I think, because I've never made this before, so we'll see. So first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees and then get your acorn squash and cut it in half, which is always a dangerous endeavor, but you know, whatever. There. Then you are going to want to scoop out the seeds. There we go. All right, next I am going to pierce the squash a few times just to kind of help it cook through. Then we want to trim off a little bit like that so it'll stay flat. This one already does a pretty good job, so I'll leave that one alone. Then we want to put these on a foil-lined sheet pan and drizzle over a little bit of olive oil or neutral oil like canola oil, and pretty generously, season it with some kosher salt, which is my favorite salt to use when cooking, as well as some pepper. And then we're gonna put this is gonna cook probably about an hour overall, and later we will apply the glaze. First, we're gonna start the cooking process. I'm gonna put this in the oven how it is, and probably about 30 minutes into it, I'm gonna take it out, glaze it, and put it back in the oven and let it finish cooking. Okay, next we will make our miso maple glaze. And I'm using kind of a secret ingredient, and that is bacon grease. So when you cook your bacon, save the fat, strain it, and just save it in the fridge. Use that. We do lots of bacon, as one can see. And so I'm gonna do probably like just under 2 tablespoons of this bacon fat. And then I'm gonna do like 1 kind of heaping teaspoon of miso in there, along with the bacon grease. I'm gonna do probably close to 2 tablespoons of this maple syrup. This is real maple syrup. The good stuff. And you know what? Let's include one more ingredient. Kind of just thought of this, but I think it will add some nice umami and some nice seasoning. Let's do about a teaspoon of soy sauce. And we're gonna bring this to our stovetop, and over kind of medium low, we will dissolve everything and bring it together. Okay, this has come up to a simmer, as you can see, and the miso needs to be stirred around to dissolve. It's really kind of thickening up from that maple syrup starting to boil, and it smells really good. I think this is going to be delicious. Okay, I'm going to let this simmer for a couple minutes until it gets to be a little bit more of a syrupy texture than this. That may only take 1 minute, I'll let you know. Okay, it's only been like a minute. I'm gonna turn the heat off, and I tasted this, and it tastes delicious. It tastes like that candied bacon. I don't know if you've ever had that, but that's kind of the flavor that's going on with this. So this is done. We can just set it aside, and further into the cooking of the squash, we are going to baste or brush this all over the squash. Okay, it's been 30 minutes into the process, and this is what my squash look like. It's kind of softening up a bit. I can feel, although it still has some time to go. And so now what we're gonna do is I took my glaze and I whisked it up to recombine it. There was a little bit of separation. And then with a brush, I am just gonna brush this all over. And we'll put it back in the oven, and after 10 more minutes, we're gonna take it out and repeat the process. We may do that a couple times, we will see. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, and these are looking pretty good. So these have been in the oven total 40 minutes so far. I'm just gonna check and see. Okay, these are definitely cooked all the way through. And so what we're gonna do now is we are gonna stick these under the broiler just to get some more browning on top. And this glaze to kind of thicken up and get sort of sticky and delicious. So that'll probably take 3 or 4 minutes under a hot broiler, and these will be ready after that. I forgot to mention, what I'm gonna do actually, so I am gonna put some more glaze on top. I'm gonna take this glaze down here in the middle and remove some of that. And then we're gonna apply some fresh glaze to it. I don't want it to be soupy down there. I just want it to be like thick and sticky, and you know what I mean? So kind of go around the edges and careful not to overglaze. We just want to get those sugars on there. That looks good. Okay, now we can stick this under the broiler. Okay, these have been under a hot broiler as opposed to a cold broiler, I guess, for 4 minutes, and they look awesome. They are ready to be finished. So here's what I'm gonna do. On this, I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of toasted sesame oil. Just a little bit. And then we're gonna finish our garnish on our serving platter. Go. All right, last thing we gotta do. We will garnish these with some toasted sesame seeds, which I love. I put these on lots of things all the time. They're delicious. This looks good. This looks really good. There's no way it's not gonna taste good. It has to taste good. I don't really remember if you eat acorn squash skin or not. So let's find out. It's delicious. It's sweet and savory at the same time. It's great. You should make it. Let me know. Bye.